Hello, friends, and welcome to another meeting of the SoBros Book Club. Now, it's spooky season, and I have a few books that I want to talk about this month here on the SoBros Network YouTube channel that I think are perfectly fitting for this time of year. And we're going to kick it off with one of my favorite books, spooky season or otherwise, bar none, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It's a classic for a reason. It's gothic, it's poignant, it's well written, widely regarded as the first science fiction novel. Like I said, it's a classic for a reason. Just in case you don't know what the story is, let me read the synopsis for you. In an attempt to create a perfect new being, scientist Victor Frankenstein secretly assembles a collection of body parts and activates it with an electrical charge. The result is horrifying even to his maker and is never named. The hideous creature escapes the laboratory and searches in vain for friendship. Despairing, he returns to Frankenstein and demands a partner as his right to happiness. But when Victor destroys her before she is completed, the monster vows vengeance on everything he holds dear. So the vibes are kind of spooky season, but I wouldn't call Frankenstein an outright horror. Look, let's address the elephant in the room here. This thing can be kind of hard to get into. I mean, it is pretty dense. I called it the best book I've ever read that I would never recommend to anybody else. Now, I like books with big stories, and I don't mean what's actually in the book. I mean stories behind them. This story was actually the result of a challenge from Lord Byron to finish a story on one summer holiday weekend. Said, who can come up with the best story while we're just lounging around this rainy cabin? And Mary Shelley delivered one of the best books of all time. But that doesn't erase the fact that it was written in 1816. It is dense. The prose is tight, it's clean, it's beautiful, but man, it is dense. And I even caught myself a couple of times having to stop and look up, what did this word mean in 1816? Like you probably have to have a really deep passion for the written word to genuinely appreciate Frankenstein. It's very moody, the vibes are right, it is unsettling. It is a good spooky season read, but most of all, I thought it was particularly jarring how much social commentary is in this, far more than I remembered when I read this for either college or high school, one of my literature courses. I can't remember. Didn't really catch it back then, and maybe I just wasn't smart enough to realize it, but there's a lot of social commentary in this, and that may actually be more unnerving than the story itself because of how much of what Mary Shelley wrote over 200 years ago is still relevant today. So I do caution people to read it because of the density of the text itself. And I think some people throughout the years, this thing has been twisted and morphed into a much simpler story that it is. You might pick this up expecting full-on horror, and I don't think that's what it is. It can be creepy, but I think that just speaks to Shelley's ability to really set the scene. What I think this is an eloquently written tale of moral dilemma and societal expectations with creepy gothic vibes. So if you're up for the call, give it a shot. If you haven't read this one, listen, it's a classic for a reason. You should find out why. If you haven't read it in a while, I'd encourage you to give it a reread just to find some of those things you might have missed like I did. Regardless, this is the perfect way to kick off spooky season for the SoBros Book Club. I'll see you next week with another one.